I really wanted to clear the air on this Cardi B nonsense. So first and foremost, Cardi, I watched your story and it sounds very funny. First off, I'm saying it's funny because it's just ridiculous to me that you even take anything that I said as offensive when I'm telling you the truth. And I think if anything, you're only upset because people are telling you on Twitter that you got dragged, because you did get dragged, because you are uneducated when it comes to politics. That's first things first. I was not, I'm sure Ben Shapiro was not, we were not meaning to attack you. We're just simply telling the truth, which is the fact that Joe Biden did not spend the whole year in his basement to come up because he's a big Cardi B fan and sit down with you. He thinks you're an idiot. And, you know, I just am encouraging you to stop proving him right when you say ridiculous things like, I had to sit down with Joe Biden because my sister got attacked by a Trump supporter, Santa Claus, making it seem like Trump supporters are homophobic. A little education for you, Cardi B. Donald J. Trump is the first president that's ever gone into office in support of gay marriage. So, you know, those 8 years that your presidential candidate Joe Biden spent as the vice president with Obama, they didn't support gay marriage going into office. Obama changed his tune on gay marriage in his second term. So the whole idea of Trump being a homophobe is a bit pointedly ridiculous and shows how uneducated you are. Then you came and you were talking about raising your taxes when you were on talking to Joe Biden, saying that you want your taxes lowered, but at the same time you want universal health care. That's ignorant and it's stupid. And Joe Biden knows it's ignorant and stupid. Even all the people that want free health care and universal health care acknowledge that tax rates have to be astronomical to be able to support that. So you're talking about a 74% tax rate. You continually keep saying you have a number one song. It means shit. Nobody cares about a song about your wet ass pussy. Excuse my language for my followers. Being number one. I have a number one song in the UK. I have a number one song in Australia. I have a number one song in New Zealand. That has nothing to do with Black America and whether or not you are helping or hurting. Right now, you are hurting Black America. Okay? When you stand on a platform and you pretend to care about Black men, when you ask Joe Biden, what are we going to do about these Black men dying? He should have asked you back, what are Black men going to do about Black men dying? Because 94% of Black men are killed by other Black men. Okay? We don't have an issue with police officers. In fact, if you go into those inner cities and you go into those projects, they need more policing. So you're a fraud. You're sitting here saying, making it seem like you're afraid of police officers. Are you afraid of your husband? You're more likely to be killed by your husband, way more likely to be killed by your husband than you are by a police officer, and you know that.
Candace Owens and Cardi B. Candace Owens and Cardi B are in this crazy beef. Candace Owens is basically Donald Trump's little black flunky, and Cardi B is the rapper who loves teaching little 7-year-old girls how to suck a man's penis. Well, basically, Candace did a call out. She called out Cardi B for this interview she did with Joe Biden. And I don't know if any of y'all saw the interview, but it was kind of ridiculous.
This cell phone has changed America, because what happens now? We're at a point where some brave kid, 15 years old, can stand there and for a total of 8 minutes and 46 seconds take a photograph of a black man whose family I know and met with and understand and spent time with, and watched him brutally murdered. And people around the world were saying, my God, it really happens? Because I'm not in a neighborhood like that. I don't come from a place. And now, guess what? They're demanding change.
Black people, we're not asking for sympathy. We're not asking for charity. We are just asking for equality.
It was really rehearsed, contrived. It made me really wonder, honestly, that whether or not she is cooperating with the government because she's trying to stay out of jail. I'm not kidding. I'm really thinking about this because if you recall, about a year ago, Cardi was facing some jail time for something that went down, at a bar. She got mad, beat some girl up for looking at her man or something. I don't know. Apparently her WAP's not good enough to keep her man's attention, right? So her man, was checking out somebody else's WAP because, WAP costs about $5.45 these days.
Cardi B is getting a lot of support for her side of the fence. Candace Owens is getting a lot of support from her constituency. But, when all the dust settles, basically what Cardi B is doing is she is supporting, protecting, and defending her politician, Joe Biden, and her party, the Democrat Party. And at the end of the day, Candace Owens is supporting her politician, Donald J. Trump, and her political party, the Republican Party. And neither of them can see the forest for the trees. So what was the shot that is now heard around the world? Look, even right now, it's still trending. 178,000 tweets. Cardi B trending with Candace Owens. This guy, Tim Young, right here, says, Candace Owens destroyed Cardi B tonight. I encourage you to go read her Twitter and watch the videos she posted tonight if you, for some reason, haven't already.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P-word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P-word. Beat it up, N-word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
Look, allow me to get real here for a second. You want me to get real? In 2019, in New York, more black babies were aborted than were born, according to a New York Times report. Think about that. Think about that. 12-year-olds around the country singing about their wet-ass clams, popping this or that or whatever, looking up to people like Cardi B, who has a massive platform. Maybe she could sing about, treating yourself like a queen, respecting yourself, not letting some dude be like, oh, baby, I can't wear those things. Oh, just, trust me, I'll pull out. Maybe deal with that. Maybe empower, just being a hoe doesn't empower you. So if Cardi B really wants to empower people, then she should really look at the message that she's portraying to her many fans. Here's the actual quote. Malcolm X, here, 38 seconds.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Isn't that interesting?
There are people who are so ridiculous, so ignorant that they actually believe that they are superior to other people because of something they had nothing to do with, i.e. the color of their skin or where they were raised or the family they were raised in. That's how ignorant they are. Yeah, there are people who actually have a supremacist mentality. But it is not as pervasive as MSLSD and the Communist News Network and faux news and the President of the United States and Joe Biden and the Democratic Party and the Republican Party want you to think it is. See, they want us to constantly be at each other's throats. Because if we're busy with each other, if we're busy hating on each other, then we can't pay attention to what the bankers are doing in this country, and that's what it's all about. If you're towing the party line for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, or you're in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's corner, or if you're in Donald Trump and Mike Pence's corner, you're toting water. You're toting pails of water for Team Banker.
Right? So Cardi's popular, right? I don't know how many Instagram followers Cardi has, but I bet it's about 50 million, 100 million, 80 million, something like that. Enough to turn an election. And I wonder if that interview was based on them sort of putting the vice grips on Cardi a little bit and saying, if you do this interview, you'll get some favorable treatment from future President Biden. I don't know. Give me a yes or no if you think that that's possible. Remember that most of the back when the Black Panthers got took down and stuff like that, and they had agents that were in there like kind of disrupting the movement. Most of these people were people, they weren't like CIA agents and FBI agents, all of them. A lot of them were like people that had been arrested where they said, oh, well, you know, you don't want to go to jail? Well, just sign here and we can make all your problems go away. Right? All you got to do is go and give us some information. Right? So that's what I thought about when I saw Cardi's interview with Joe Biden. And what was fascinating was that the interview was completely inconsistent with Cardi's brand. Cardi's brand is wild, crazy. She sticks out her tongue a lot, right? Like just kind of out there, out of control. Like I'm just gonna lay it out there and tell it like it is. Like when she was confessing about drugging men so they can be set up to be raped by trannies, which by the way should be a felony. If she were a man, she'd be in prison for that. But she's a woman, I guess, and her victims were black males. Then I guess that doesn't matter to anybody. Well, Cardi is that wild, crazy chick. She's the one who tells it like it is, right? But on the interview, that wasn't the Cardi B that I saw. On the interview, I saw a Claire Huxtable. I saw Cardi with her makeup well done, and she wore a nice little suit that you could probably wear to church or something. And she was asking these questions that were about as rehearsed as any movie in Hollywood. I mean, she almost like she was reading from a script.